time. It's Tuesday, and I wore my Whiskey Tango Foxtrot shirt because it says WTF, and that's what today is all about. Today, I saw the cover page and I was instantly like slightly depressed. We have 27 questions. I guess it's not too bad. It's still way less than that time she made me do 30. I thought I was going to die. Hey, everybody. Hope you had a nice and wonderful and positive and productive weekend. Let's get this show on the road. But what we do here, these are advice questions for those of you who may be unfamiliar with what we do here. These questions were sent in advance. If you want to send in a question for an upcoming show, you would follow these instructions. There's a link in the show description. Just expand the box, click and scroll down. It's going to be down near the bottom. It says if you want to get advice on for the upcoming show, click this link. So you fill out the form and you just send it in. You can also access the same form by going to Debsterism.com, and there's a tab that says get advice. It's just going to take you to the same form. And it's also linked on survivingdating.com, get advice. So there's 3 or 4 different ways that you can find that form and get your questions submitted. We don't guarantee that it'll be chosen, but we do our best because try to get everybody's question in as much as possible. Okay, but the final decision is not mine. It belongs to Candace, my cousin, and she puts the column together for me. So let's get started. Oh, before I do, one other thing. Those of you who wrote in a question, listen to what I have to say, but be sure to look in the chat too, because sometimes they live in your country, they live in your province, they live in your city, and they may have examples of additional resources that would help you that I don't know about. Okay, they also have different perspectives. Some of them are much younger than me, so they're going to see things through different eyes. So I mean, together we got you though. So just take a look at what's in the chat, and also, with what I say. And I think between the two of them, you should have a complete picture of where you need to go and how you need to get there. Okay. So let's get started. So question number 1 is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group. She says she's mixed race from Seattle, Washington. I need to know how to cut things off nicely with people that I'm talking to when I found, quote, the one. How do you know it's the one? Okay. I'm 28 and I just got out of an 8-year relationship a few months ago and started dating again. I was talking to 2 guys, both about 34 at the same time, who aren't living in Seattle, and I made sure they knew about each other. I was pretty honest with them both, and honestly, it made them compete for me even harder, which was kind of nice. We made plans to see each other, so I'm going on vacation with each of them in 2 different locations sometime soon. I know, player move. Hey, that's how you're supposed to do it, though. But hey, I'm single and having fun. However, as time has gone on, both men seem to show inconsistency, i.e., wouldn't talk to me for days, sometimes for a whole week. This made me feel like I was begging for breadcrumbs when I know I can have the whole loaf of bread. It was frustrating, but since I moved to a new city, I decided to see what else was out there again. Then I met this guy. He's almost 40. We'll call him tall bearded dude. Well, he is very mature. He owns his own home, has a great job. He's financially stable. And quite frankly, he's very good looking. He checks all the boxes and even sends me good morning texts. So it's the little things that count. I still wonder what I did to deserve him. Wow. Now my question is, how do I end things nicely with the other 2? Should I wait and see how it goes with tall bearded man first before I cut ties with the other guys? Should I still go on vacation that's already booked and paid for? I am new to dating since I'm getting out of a long-term relationship, and I seriously don't know how to navigate this. I would hate to lead them on or waste their time. Well, when you date more than one dude at the time and they start falling off, that already tells you they're wasting your time. A man who's serious about you and he's serious about, the competition that he wants to win you because he likes you that much and he wants you in his life, wouldn't fall off. So that's the answer right there. You don't need to go on vacation with either one of them. You'll be wasting your time. And then, I mean, Why? Unless you're just going to go as friends and that, no, that's not what you want, and then neither do they. So what's the point? Tell them to take somebody else. As far as waiting to see how it goes with this guy before you cut them off, you don't have to do that. Because like I said, you're supposed to be doing a pair and a spare, right? A pair and a spare. Right now, he's looking really good, but just like the other dude started off with a bang and then kind of fell off, he could do the same thing. So don't be putting all the stock in the saying, well, he's the one and also crazy stuff. You don't know any of that. You just met this clown. You're doing too much. So what you're gonna do is tell both of them that you met someone else that you want to explore things with. They're gonna be like, well, what am I gonna do about this vacation? You're gonna say, you're gonna take the girl that you've been with since you've been falling off over here. That's what you're gonna do. And then you hang up and block them. As far as this guy, um, like I said, he sounds good right now. He may continue to be, but I wouldn't put too much stock in it yet. Let him prove himself. Okay. And then since you're not his woman and you guys aren't in a committed relationship, you should still be dating other people as well. Okay? You don't just date one dude when he's not your man. He's not. Keep that in mind as you move forward. And this way you pumping him up. I mean, like that's really nice. Don't get me wrong, it's good that he ticks all the boxes. But give him time because inevitably they start to do stupid stuff. Then you have to make a decision. Is the stupid stuff that he's doing enough to make me want to dump him, or is it stuff I can just roll my eyes about and keep it moving forward? That's the decision that you have to make because I have not met a man yet, no matter how many boxes he ticks and how wonderful he is, who didn't do something, at least a couple of something, that got on a woman's last nerve. It made her just give him the side eye, like, what you doing? Okay? So keep that in mind and just get you a couple other people on the hook too, and then move forward. But that's what you do with the other two. They just wasting somebody's lifespan. Question number 2. This is a female in 35 to 41 age group from Seattle. Oh, Seattle's popular tonight, huh? Was that Seattle? She's African American and a Sagittarius. She's writing with about another female who's also in the same age group, who's an Aries and who's also African American. Okay. My question summary: casually dating while growing. This is that. Okay, I know it because I remember that subject. This was the young lady who wrote, she tried to submit a question on the last Thursday and something happened. I don't know. I couldn't find it. So this is it. Candace put it in the letter. So here we go. I spent the last 5 years healing and becoming more authentic to who I am. I realized that all the years I spent chasing a relationship with a man was a waste, and I really, really don't see the upside of being married to a man anymore. I recently admitted to myself that I am attracted to both men and women. I am only dating women right now, but since I came to this new realization about myself, I feel like a teenager. I want to date a lot and not be in a committed relationship right now. I feel so free. I recently started seeing a wonderful woman. I enjoy her company a lot. I can see myself falling for her. I don't want a serious relationship, but find myself thinking of our future. She has voiced the same feelings to me. I have told her that I don't want a serious relationship and will be also dating other people, but somehow it feels like we are falling into a relationship anyway. She calls me every night. She came and see me in my city recently, and we had a wonderful time. Deb, I finally feel free, free of being, quote, everything that everyone else wants me to be, end quote. I fear getting back into a relationship that I will get sucked back into my old patterns of being codependent. I used to feel solitude, but I actually enjoy being by myself now. I want to continue spending time with this woman, but it feels like we are about to exchange house keys. Is it possible to maintain a casual relationship, or am I kidding myself? Do I have to end this relationship now? Ooh, this is a hard one. Um, I'm trying to figure out why you feel that you can't still be free and have her in your life as well. I mean, you're not making any commitments, right? You're not, and you've been very clear that that's not what you want to do, right? You talked about that, correct? If you didn't, you need to, but just say, it's like perhaps this is the right person at the wrong time. because right now I'm still trying to find, get my bearings and figure out what's what, because all of this is very new to me. I'm not ready to settle down and be with one person quite yet. Maybe in a few months, but not right now. And that then put that in, that would have to be her decision. Do she want to wait? Is she feeling strong enough about you that she can let you, give you this emotional and physical distance and space you need to explore this new side of yourself? I also want to caution you with the fact that, women, I don't know. I can't really say that it's going to be the same. I mean, the relationship that you've had with men, there's a certain social dynamic there, a lot of expectations that have been drilled into you due to your upbringing and religion and everything else, family expectations, everything else that comes with being in a relationship, a woman being in a relationship with a man, especially an African American woman. There's a lot of things that you're not even really thinking about, and roles that you fall into and thought patterns that you have automatically that most people don't even think about and don't challenge. Well, those aren't going to be there. So a lot of what you may be afraid of and being codependent and all that kind of stuff might just be because of the fact that you were in relationships with men and not with a woman that had good sense before. So these are all things though that you need to talk with her about and let her know that these are things that you're trying to figure out. You're thinking your way through these, and this is the kind of stuff that you have to do is communicate. I mean, it's great that you're telling me, but you need to tell her, and how shocked you are that you met somebody and you click, like, just be honest and just tell her what's going on with you, and then beg for some time. Now, what's gonna happen? Either two things: either that distance is gonna make you realize that maybe this was a blessing in disguise, and this is where you're supposed to be, and this is the relationship that you're supposed to have, or you're gonna have put a little space, and then you're gonna, just realize, well, that was some kind of intrigue and flash in the past crush or something, and then you can move on. But either way, you'll get your answer. But she has to, both of you actually, you have to trust yourselves enough to give you the time and space to make this transition and to explore these feelings that you need to explore. That's my answer. But I'm just thinking seriously that, a lot of the relationship issues that women have in relationships are because they're in relationships with men. We can't help it. We've both been socialized, like since birth, to have certain expectations of the opposite sex and play certain roles and all that kind of stuff. You don't even really question it. I think I need to turn this fan off. I think it's blowing around dust and I'm breathing it in. But that's what I think. I don't know. That's what's hitting me, is that you're comparing apples to watermelons, apples to giraffes. It's going to be completely different because both of you have been raised under those expectations, and you don't want those anymore. So there's no reason for you to bring them into a new relationship. But it's gonna have to be you. You're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna explain this to her and talk about it. But that would be my recommendation: is to be honest, to be just completely open about what you want to do here and why you want to do it, and then but tell her how shocked, because it seems like you're really surprised. You're like kind of reeling from it because, like, this wasn't in my plan. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Kind of thing. I mean, I'm making jokes about you, but you see what I mean. Sometimes shit just happens. It just drops into our lap, and we weren't looking for it, but it just happens, and it turns out to be a good thing. But you have to arrive at that conclusion yourself. I can't do that for you. You know. Question number 3, female, 22 to 27. She's black, from Columbus, Ohio. Is it okay for your boyfriend to know where you live and visit your house often, but for his place to be a secret? Homosexual. Okay. He says he's embarrassed about his living situation, so he doesn't want me to know where he lives, even though he knows where I live, and often stays with me for days at a time. He also wants to move in with me when I move to a new apartment, yet he refuses to show me where he lives. I understand to some extent because I get being embarrassed, but I feel like if we're going to be dating, then I should at least know his address. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. I mean, what is this? Is he living with another woman? in a halfway house. I mean, what's going on? He just homeless and just living in an encampment, just happens to go slide into some kind of shelter and clean up before he comes to your house or something. What's going on? You need to ask him that and then tell him no, because you keeping secrets. And secrets don't belong in a relationship, and secrets definitely not coming into my house with me. So what you need to do is figure out how you're going to open this door to this part of your life, or where you're going to be through here, sir. I can't do this. This is no, we're not going to do this. If you're not living in my house and you're not staying with me for days at a time, we're not doing that. This is something you should have nipped in the bud right away. You should never let this continue to where he started thinking that this is okay and he gonna move in with you. No, you're not. You're gonna stay over there wherever in that homeless encampment, wherever it is that you live, that's where you're gonna be. Until you bring me to where you live. And I see for myself the situation. If he can't do that, then just take him on back there, the little dusty spot you found him, and leave him there. Okay. My goodness, what in the world? Question number 4, female 18 to 21. She's white from Burbank, California. The male in question is 22 to 27, and he's a mixed race. A guy I'm seeing insists subtly on coming to my place on his birthday when we had plans to go out. I'm feeling confused about it, and I need some help. We've been dating for about a month. I'm 21 and he's 25. Things are going well. He's sweet, funny, and affectionate. But he tries too hard. Every time we go out, he pays for everything. He cancels his plans with his friends to see me. Instead, he tells me how beautiful and hot I am like 10 times a day. Oh, he's blowing smoke up your ass. I see. He is not a creep, and I do get good vibes from him. Because you're only 18 to 21 and you don't know no better. For his birthday in a week, we were supposed to go out and celebrate. He even recommended a restaurant that he really likes. So we planned to go there. But out of the blue, he called me saying that he would rather come to my house for his birthday. I tried to be playful and be like, oh, no, no, no. It's no fun on the inside. But he kept pushing until I said, we will see. He said he wants to have it eventually. I told him that I want things to go slow like a week ago, and now this happens. Deb, I don't feel comfortable with him pushing for it when I'm not ready, and the more he compliments me, the more it freaks me out. He is a good guy, and I know that. My question is how to tell him that I would rather spend the day out and not have him over to my place, and yet, so not over to my place yet. Got it. Okay, I see what you meant. Over to my place yet. Thanks. You say, you're not coming to my house. Why is that so hard? You're not coming to my house. And if that's a problem for you, and you think you're going to be that I'm going to be your birthday gift, I got news for you. And if that's going to be a problem for you, then let's not go. As a matter of fact, let's not even talk anymore. It's only been a month. So yeah, he's doing what I call the full court press. That's why he started trying to blow your head up and make you feel like he's all into you and all this other stuff here, which I'm not saying he's not. He might really be. But if you just told him last week that you want to take things slow on the physical tip, and here he is, he flipped around, he's like, yeah. And then, but it's my birthday and I want some. And so that's what I want. And so he's trying to press you. Then see, to me, if a woman puts up a boundary, I don't care what it is. It could be about what you want to eat, what you want to drink, where you want to go, any people you want to be around, what you want to wear, what you want to say, or what have him the way you want him to talk to you. Any boundary that you put up, and you tell him what it is, and he comes back with something else to try to get you to change your boundary that you've already set up, I'm done with him. That second, I'm done. It's out. This is something that I learned through years of living, though. When I was your age, I did not know that. I mean, I had a pretty good idea, and I was, pretty good about it. But there were too many times when, you're young and you like, oh, whatever. You have a more casual attitude about the whole thing. You have, I guess, more time to waste. But at my age now, the clock is ticking. But you be hit the other side of 40, you on the downstroke to the casket. And so I don't want to waste any of my time. I'm not going to do it. And if I told you no, I told you we stop, I told you that's not happening, and you come back and you say anything else to me to try to get me to change my mind from your pressure, motherfucker, we're through. I mean that fucking second. We're done here, sir. So, little girl, I'm telling you right now, this is a major red flag. I mean, you feel it, but again, you're only in the 18 to 21 age group, and so you probably have much experience with dudes just kind of steamroll you. But this is the beginning. You better get it together, because this is just the beginning. You're just getting started in the whole dating thing. They're gonna do this all the time because men are narcissistic little fucks, and they want to get what they want to get from women, and they don't really care what you think about it. They're gonna press you to get what they want. Every single young girl listen to this. If you tell a dude no, stop, leave me alone, don't do that, stop doing that, we're not doing that, I don't want to do that, anything like that, and he says anything else to try to convince you, you need to leave him alone that second. That second, because it's showing you right there to your face, he does not respect what you're talking about. You're there to fulfill his needs. That's what he's telling you. He wants to get what he wants to get. He don't really care if you comfortable, if you like it, if you ready, if you want it, if it's something you like. No, they don't care about that. That's what his assistance on coming back and trying to convince you to do something else other than what you already told him you want to do. That's what that means. Okay, that's what that means. You leave this little tawdry motherfucker alone. Tell him it's good that he showed his true colors. You not don't want to have shit else to do with him, and take his ass on somewhere and celebrate somewhere else. Okay, I'm trying to explain this to you. This is a key and pivotal point in your life to understand this concept right here. This might be the first time that this is happening to you, but it's not going to be the last. You have to understand whether it's an employer, friends, family, or romantic partners, anybody. You've put up a boundary and they try to mash it down and knock it down or get you to change it. You get rid of that person from your life. They don't respect you. They don't care about you. If people who care about you respect your boundaries, because those boundaries are put in place for your safety, your mental, emotional, and sometimes physical safety, financial safety, whatever. Somebody who tells you that something else other than what you already said no to, get rid of them. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. I've never been more serious in my life. Because the next thing you're going to be like, well, I don't want to do some other act, and he's going to insist that you're going to do it anyway. And the next thing you're going to be at the police department saying that he did something to you that starts with an A. Get rid of this fool. Okay? Get rid of him. He can celebrate his damn birthday by himself. Little fucker. Female, 22 to 27 from Woodbridge, New Jersey. She's African American. The male in question is 50 to 56. Whoa. And he's also African American. What? Old fucker. Summary of issue. We're going to have these. Like I said, I changed advice form about 2 weeks ago. Do I stay with a guy who has a different crisis every week? I'm 27 and he's 50. Ooh. It's a little old for you, don't you think? I have been dating this guy for about a year. I've known him for 4. Long story short, it's been a consistent 6 months of him having a ton of financial and personal issues. No, I'm not the type to run when things get tough. You should be at 27. But for better understanding, I've loaned and spent hundreds, maybe now a few thousand, on helping him and even providing for him. Ugh, oh, you a dummy. A 27-year-old dummy. That's what you are. I'm not going to be nice to you. This old motherfucker right here. And you, how did you get, I've helped him with fees for court. What? Food. I helped him move twice. I pay for 90% of our outings. He has no license or car, so gas is usually always on me as well. It's gotten completely draining and mentally tiring. But my heart would not let me just leave someone or abandon them in their time of need. Apparently, the other day, officers came to his job to collect money he was supposed to be paying. They took his last dollar because he has not been abiding to his payment plan. Yesterday, he took a lot of his anger out on me. He was so cold. He was so mean to the point I started hysterically crying. It did not bother him at all that I was crying. He attacked me over the smallest things, and therefore, because he's saying that he's stressed. And although I get the stress, why is it being taken out on me? His family let him be homeless for 2 days, and I was the one that helped him. He has barely any friends. It's like I'm the only person here for him. Yesterday was pretty eye-opening. After he was super nasty for about 2 hours, yes, I should have just left. He apologized and asked me for money for food. Of course, I gave it because how can I let someone go hungry? It sucks. I kind of wish I didn't give it because I'm running out of stuff to give. I know I sometimes snap a bit when I am stressed, but just the way he was so cold and so extremely nonchalant and almost annoyed that I was crying, my perspective is starting to change. Is it time for me to leave? How do I handle this? Any advice is appreciated. I'm feeling lost and thank you in advance. You poor thing. I'm really pissed at you, though. I'm really pissed at you. First of all, if a motherfucker's own family's not trying to help him, that means they're done. They've reached the point where you are, where he's just a sponge, just sucking the life out of everybody and their money and everything else because he's just useless. This man don't have no money. He doesn't have no car. He don't have no driver's license. He's obviously, I don't know, living pillar to post. And he's 50 years old. What in the world do you think that this man can do for you, or he can't even do for himself? What are you doing? This was your parents did not raise you well at all. I'm going to blame them because you don't have any kind of sense of what a good partnership is. There's no way in the world that a 27-year-old girl should be taking care of a 50-year-old man. He found you, honey. He is knocking your head up against the wall so hard it's not even funny. I want you to change your number and anything else that you can do. If you can move so he can't find you, do that and leave this fool alone. Okay, this is something you need to nix from your life. Don't you give him another dime. Don't you? He starts calling you with sob stories or going off on you. You hang up the phone. But like I said, the ideal thing is for you to change your number. There's no way you should have been doing this. And don't think you're ever gonna get any of that money back. And if he wants some food, tell him to go down to the homeless, to the soup kitchen. Churches be giving away food. They have food, at the little thing, the food pantries. They give people whole bags of groceries. He can sign up for that. It's not gonna be fancy food, but it's gonna be food. I don't really understand what it is why you're doing this. Have you ever sit there and thought about it? What is it that I'm doing this for? What am I getting out of this? Because everything that we do for a reason. There's a reason why you feel necessary to sacrifice yourself like this, run yourself into the ground, and treat yourself like shit behind a 50-year-old dusty bum. He don't have his stuff together by the time he's 30. Okay, the other 20 years he just wasted time. And I don't know what the rules are in New Jersey, so I hesitate to say, but I can't say if you got court-ordered payments to make and you're not making them, they don't come to your job, at least here. What they do is they send out some sheriffs and they come and arrest your ass. That's what they do. They put you in jail because that's a court issue. You were mandated to pay that in court. It's like having a bench warrant because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, any bail and all these kind of things, probation and stuff that you were on based upon that kind of restitution is revoked and you get arrested and put in jail. And that's how they do it in California. But like I said, I don't know how it works in New Jersey. Somebody over here might know more about it. Maybe they do go to your job and give you a chance to pay up. But if he didn't have the money to pay when he was supposed to, how was he going to have the money to pay when he didn't? So I don't know. It just sounds suspicious to me. It just sounds like a sob story to make you feel bad what you did because you start wailing and crying and stuff about him. I would have said good. Too bad they didn't arrest you, get you off the street. That's probably a story. Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, I don't know the process in New Jersey, so it puts me in a very awkward position, because these things vary from state to state, seriously. So, I don't know. But anybody here who lives in New Jersey, who works in the legal field in New Jersey would know the answer. And maybe they'll come and make a comment below this video, and then they'll say, for sure that was a story. But it sounds like a story to me. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's a story to get you to feel more sorry for him and give him more. That's why I said never help a man. Please look at that video. Never help a man. Put that shit on repeat until it sinks into your head. I'm just like, oh, this dust mite. Oof, running out of stuff to give. That was so never happened to me. I'm not giving you a cup of noodles. I'm not giving you the hot water to go in a cup of noodles that you bought. I'm not giving you shit. Okay, nothing. Get out. Get out of my world. Just leave me alone. Question number 6, female, 22 to 27. She's African American from Lexington, Kentucky. I matched with this guy on a swipey thing. About 10 days ago. For those of you who don't know, that's my little code word for them dating apps. Because you know how you swipe left, swipe right? I call them all swipey things. I don't name them individually. They're all the swipey thing. That's why she said that. And it was an instant connection. We had so much in common and would text long messages talking about anything and everything for about a week. He would send me a good morning message every day like clockwork too. Things also got adult over the text messaging and there was a lot of chemistry. We met up in person on Friday night and we were both a little shy. But the date went really well. He was extremely nice to me. He even brought me chocolate when we met up as a gift. We started off at a coffee shop and then we went to a bar. We again had great conversation and flirted with each other. At the end of the date, he asked if I wanted to go back to his place. I said no because I don't do all that on the first date and it was too soon. It was too late. He brought up meeting again and we both went over our schedules. He said we can plan it out on Monday, today. He even said that to me to let him to know when I got home. So I texted him and thanked him for the date. He responded, but I haven't heard anything from him since. Last night I texted him to text me tomorrow if he was still interested in going out again. Complete silence. He still follows me on social media though. Should I text him again or just unfriend him? It's very confusing. It's not confusing at all. You don't understand seduction. When he did all of that with the expectation that your little silly ass would go to his house and make good on all those adult texts you were exchanging. See, how old are you again? 22 to 27. Okay, you too old for this. You meet a man, and the first thing within the first couple of days or worst week or whatever, you start texting stuff that involves a bedroom. There's stuff but underneath somebody's clothes. And you start going talking about that. What the fuck you think he's gonna be thinking is gonna happen? But then you pull out with, well, it's too soon. You know what? Your behavior needs to match your actions. Your behavior needs to match your words, rather. Your words and what you do need to match. Your shit's all over the place. You say one thing and then you do something else. You talk a big game about all this freak shit you want to do, but then as soon as it comes time to put up, suddenly you turn into an ingenue and start talking about, it's too soon. You're playing games, and that's why your ass got dumped. If you want to be a freak on the swipey things, then be one. If you don't, then you don't have them kind of conversations with men that you've never even fucking met. You did shit all kind of backwards and stupid. You made yourself look like a little garden tool. Okay, I know these girls are like, well, I can do what I want. I'm telling you how the dudes are looking at it. You came out with it, so he's thinking you're going to follow through, but you didn't. You pulled up, and so he's confused. He's like, what kind of bullshit is this? What kind of game is she playing? I spent all that time and energy and money on her ass, and now she's talking about this? So now he doesn't trust you because you said one thing, but you did another. You laid out all this bait, and then you pulled back. That's not how you operate, chick. Pick a side and stick to it. Do one thing or the other. This is ridiculous that you just old and doing all that stupid baby shit. If you wasn't having all this chemistry with the dude and shit, then you should have went forward with it, right? You lit that up. You lit that fire, and now all of a sudden you say, oh no, it's too soon. I want a relationship. Your ass didn't want a relationship when you was doing freak text with him when you hadn't even met him yet. You people just kill me. It's just unbelievable. Oh, I have a headache. These are the days when I wish there was vodka in my cup. Remember them days when I used to be lit on the show? I don't do that anymore. They don't want me drinking. It's not good for my brain, which is still in recovery. So I'm like, okay, well, how about I just cut back? I won't be drinking vodka, rum, and Hennessy, but I'll have some wine here and there. My doctor's like, okay. So that's what we do. So no more vodka for me. No more hen, at least for a while. Trying to be good. But man, the shows like this on these days, I was like, oh Lord, why did I agree to that? These people just make me just want to dive into a whole vat of Hennessy. Okay, question number 7, female 42 to 49. She is from Oakland and she is a Scorpio. Summary of issue: gaslighting by professionals. I wrote 10 months ago when diagnosed with breast cancer, asking for advice on sharing the news with family. Your guidance helped me a lot. I'm done with therapies and surgeries and trying to re enter life. Oh, good for you. The side effects are killing me. I am so fatigued. I'm being gaslighted by oncologists. We meet monthly to go over lab results and discuss the transition. The standard answer for every debilitating side effect I mention is that, quote, that's not a known side effect, or that happens in rare cases. What the fuck is happening to me? Isn't that enough reason to discuss it? I went to my appointment with 50 pages of comments from forums complaining about brain fog, memory loss, hot flashes, weight gain, joint pain, and fatigue. The answer is, quote, who do you think goes online and complains? What? I've changed doctors, but these responses are common. The last doctor told me to be happy I survived cancer. Okay, but what about quality of life? I'm so angry. I've lost my communication ability. The advice about debilitating the fatigue was to exercise. I said I could go days without showering because I don't have the energy to get out of bed. Are you even listening to me? Deb, can you share strategies to navigate these conversations more productively? How do you call out a medical professional for gaslighting without sounding crazy? I'm writing because my family is tired of hearing me complain after every appointment, and I know if anyone can find a way to communicate with dusty doctors, it would be you. I know my talk isn't juicy, so thanks for your advice. Girl, I have cussed out so many doctors in my life. It's not even funny. I mean, this one woman, but maybe you probably don't even have the strength to do it. I didn't have cancer. I mean, it wasn't anything like that, but I've been having pain in my lower, what's left side of my back, and it was like my mom was concerned that it was something to do with my pancreas, right? She used to be an RN. So I'm asking, I'm going to the doctor. This went place over months, and they're like, they give you them little pain pills and this and that. Okay, finally, I'm in like the 4th month of this, and it's very painful. So I go to the doctor, and it's a doctor I've been going to for a long time, the Indian lady. And she tried to bless me off again. I said, God damn it, fucking bitch. And I started to cuss her out. I said, I've been coming up in here for 4 months with the same fucking pain and I just lit that office up to the point where the front desk called security. And I was like, I didn't move from the table though. I wasn't like trying to menace her or anything like that. So they couldn't try to say, I was threatening her like that, but I was going off. I said, you get on that goddamn thing and you order me an ultrasound and an x-ray and every other kind of diagnostic tool that you have on the first floor of this fucking building. And you're going to see what's going on with me and why I've been in pain for 4 months. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to do it right now. And she did. Her hands were shaking. I said, it's no excuse for you to try to blow me off like that. But I'm just supposed to be in pain because you want to save money? Fuck you. And so then I got my test, didn't find anything. Well, no, they did. They found I had some fibroids or something. But then they said as you get older, but they must have been, I don't know, I didn't really see the scan. It must have been huge. It was causing that kind of problem, that kind of pain. But then women I've talked to said that they are extremely painful. So I was like, okay, well, at least I know what it is now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it was nothing. So what I'm going to tell you though is cancer doctors, I'm sure, doctors, they aren't the best one for this part. They get you through the major trauma. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you need to see a different type of doctor. You can go back to oncologists every, I don't know how many months to get checked and all this kind of stuff. People usually go back every 3, 6, 1 year, something like that, to get checked and make sure the cancer hasn't come back and all this kind of stuff. But what you need to do is find what they call a natural, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, naturopath, or some kind of natural kind of doctor where you get treated with herbs and nutritional foods and vitamins and minerals. That's what you need. Your body is completely depleted, completely depleted. You know, you can't even eat right when you're going through cancer treatment. And then the treatment itself is highly toxic and traumatic on the body. You need nutrition. Your body needs some help so you can get your energy back and it can finish healing. So there's some great ones here. I don't remember the names of any of them right off the top of my head, but you're right here in Oakland. There's some great ones here. If you have to go all the way to Palo Alto to Stanford Hospital, you know, that area down there, you can do that. But you should be able to find somebody right here in the Oakland area, Oakland, Berkeley area. And please go see them. At least start trying to do something that's going to help yourself away from these palliative these doctors. They are really good, like I said, in a crisis for the actual medical treatment. But for things after like pains and healing, they're not gonna help you. So you have to help yourself. So get on the Google and look around and see if people will make recommendations on some of these cancer forms or something like that, and make an appointment, and you take your little ass over there, and that's what you do. It's going to cost you money if you don't have the kind of health insurance, or where they pay for supportive kind of medications and nutritional supplements and stuff like that. Then it's going to be an out-of-pocket cost. You might be able to help somebody, find somebody to help pay for it. You might have enough money to pay for it. I don't know what your situation is, but whatever it is, they're gonna get you on that road. You're gonna have probably start having some green shakes and stuff like that. You got to really dose your body up nutritionally so it can get past this and finish healing. That's what you need. It's just coming to me that's what you need. Okay, so do that. Don't put any more extra faith in the doctors. They did everything that they can do. At this point, they want to tell you, well, we can't really help you because we don't know what the fuck to tell you. They're not gonna say that because they like to think that they're gods or God's right hand or something. But that's what you need. You need somebody who's going to care more about your holistic health, your entire body, and help you get back to an even keel. Get all your systems in order. Get your immune system okay. Get your energy levels up, and heal internally from the devastation that your poor body has just gone through. Okay, that's what you need. And check out, they have some stuff here. Um, yeah, you're right. But this thing with me, this happened so many years ago. That's when I was still young and wild. I probably would handle it a little different these days. I would be more communicative. But, at that point, I was in pain. I didn't give a fuck about her feelings anymore. You try to be respectful, but, you just, everything hurt. I was hurting all the time. And so I'm like, no, this ain't normal. Something looks serious is going on. And so, yeah, she got cussed out real quick. She got cussed out, and then I found out what was the problem. Question number 8. Female, 28 to 34. She's white from Fort Worth, Texas. The male in question is 28 to 34 as well. My issue is about me wanting my own space when moving in with my partner. My boyfriend and I are planning on moving in together in 4 months when my lease is up. We've been discussing what it would look like and what we both need from one another to be happy. One thing that's very important to me is to have my own room. I'm an artist and have other hobbies that I like to be alone for. I draw personal things sometimes, and I want somewhere I can't do this and have my privacy. What? Oh, she must mean that she wants somewhere she can do this. I wouldn't be sleeping in the room or anything. It'd just be for art and hobbies. I also wouldn't want him walking in there whenever he wants to and seeing something I know that's personal to me. There would be nothing nefarious going on. I just like to keep some of my self expression private. He said he was not sure if this was a red flag and really didn't like the idea of me having my own room that he could walk into whenever he wants to. Mm. Some background is that we've been together for 2 years. The relationship has been a bit rocky, to be honest, but we've been making it work. The most important part of this is that he is building his own house. It's not completely done yet. He's very territorial over his space and house due to this, which is understandable as he built everything. I told him that I wouldn't expect my own room for a while as we see how things go. I'd be okay waiting for as long as a year, but in the long run, I would need my own private space. He thinks wanting my own room in the future would be a red flag and seems very uncomfortable with this idea. His discomfort has me wondering if this is a weird and unreasonable request. Just wanted to hear from you and the squad and what your perspective is. No, it's not unreasonable at all. I always had like, okay, you know how some men have a man cave? He didn't have no man cave. I had two rooms for me. I had my own sewing room because I used to sew a lot. And my sewing machine and my little dress form and all my shit was in there, boxes of fabric. It was just unbelievable. But it took up a whole room. And then I was doing photography, right? Doing wedding photography. So I had another room for all my photography gear, all my stuff, my cameras and lights and lenses and all that stuff, backgrounds and all stuff. So I had two rooms, and he had the rooms that he shared with me. And I mean, he could go in there, but there was nothing in there for him. So what did you need? What you need to go in there for? Did you know how to sew? Did you magically learn how? What you in there for? So then he didn't go, and I was like, don't you touch my equipment. If anything turns up broken, you bring one of your friends and let them in there or something, one of your little cousins and nieces or something, and they go in there and fuck up my shit, we gonna have a problem. So he put a lock on that door, so nobody could get in there because it was, we're talking about $20,000, $30,000 worth of photographic equipment and cameras and stuff. No, nope, nope, nope. So it was, I don't know, that's how it was with mine. So I don't really understand why this guy's feeling so threatened. One solution to this, though, is for you to not move in with him. Okay? Stay in your own spot. You already got a rocky relationship. What you trying to do? Y'all going into moving in together because you have tried to, quote, make it work. Well, you can see that this is a core value difference right here. He doesn't want you to have anything separate from him and no privacy. He finds you having something that he's not involved in threatening. This is not going to work, chick. I don't understand. I mean, you must know this at a some kind of deep level. That's why you wrote this letter. But if you're thinking that I'm going to say, oh, just do it anyway, it'll be okay, and shit like that, I don't do that on this channel. I tell you the real thing. And the real thing is jumping off the page right here that if you even try to go into the room and close the door, he's going to have a problem. If you try to put it in a situation, lock the door or something where he can't get in, he's going to take the lock off because he feels very threatened that you're keeping something from him, something that you have a separate part of your life that he's not involved in and he don't know about. That means he doesn't trust you. So why would you be in a relationship with a man that you don't trust, that can't trust you? This is a super red flag. You, in order to appease him, would have to give up what you were willing to do for a whole year, an important value of yours. No one in that, see, women do too much. You cannot give up yourself in order to please a man. He has to either be with your program or you find a different dude, one who is also creative and maybe has like a workbench and shit down in the garage or whatever, because that's his space and you got yours. Because he has interests and hobbies that you don't share, and you have interests and hobbies that he doesn't share, and you're both okay with that. That's the kind of man that you need, not this one who's so insecure and want to choke the life out of you in the relationship. Stay where you are. You can find some other place to move if you want to, but don't you dare move in with this man. That would be a huge mistake. And within a few months, you would move right back out and waste all your time, energy, and money. Liv, you better listen to me. He's telling you what time it is right now. This is something that you said over and over and had great explanation that you need this. This is not a want. You need this. Why would you give that up and deny that part of yourself and your creativity for a whole year over somebody that you already having a rocky relationship with? Have you lost your mind? You shouldn't even be thinking this. As soon as he said that, you should say, well, this is not going to work then. We're not going to live it together. Enjoy your house, and I'll find me someplace else to live. If you want to, we could kill date. But I'm thinking that's probably wasted time too, because there's no future in it. Because we'll never live together unless I can have my own space. And you don't want to have me to have my own space, so what's the point? And then you break up. That's how you do things realistically and maturely. As hard as it is, more women need to get that pragmatic about protecting their boundaries. Your boundary is you need your own space. You need this for your creative endeavors, which are part of who you are. Why would you deny that to have a relationship with somebody when it's just already rocky? Please. I don't understand these women. I'm sorry, I just don't get you. Let's move on to question number 9. Male, 28 to 34. He's African American, Aquarius from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The female is 28 to 34, and she's white and a Pisces. Oh, I feel like I never get any personal time away from my wife, and it's starting to make me feel crazy. She wants to be up under me all the time, and I can't breathe. So I started waking up at 3 hours earlier to get 2 hours of time to myself. And I communicated this to my wife. Then my wife started waking up 2 hours earlier. Oh, man. So then you only got 1 hour time to yourself. I started waking up 3 hours earlier to get 2 hours of time to myself. I wake up at 4:40 a.m. now and communicated that this was the purpose of me getting up earlier to my wife. One of the reasons I wake up earlier is because I am not a quote good morning person because of a few medical issues. I need time to wake up and be able to function in a positive way. Then my wife started waking up 2 hours earlier and she wakes herself up at 6 a.m. We have 3 dogs. She makes breakfast for herself immediately after waking up and always expects me to help her cook for every meal and is upset if I don't have breakfast with her. I tried to explain and she was upset. I didn't go well. It didn't go well. She looked up I looked up how to appropriately communicate this to her and did my best to be sensitive to her needs, but I don't think I did it right. I just need some guidance. You better put your nigga on and get this chicken in check here, dude. First of all, I understand it's your wife and you don't want to just go off on her. But this is to the point where it's just fucking ridiculous to even read this. That she's just like a goddamn barnacle on you. At some point, everyone, I mean, can you even go to the bathroom by yourself and take a dump without her wanting to come in there hovering at the door like a pet? This is ridiculous. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to just act a fool. That's what you're gonna have to do. When she wants you to cook and say, cook for yourself, don't cook me shit, just don't cook. Don't cook for me. I don't want to cook with you every meal. What are we, Bopsy twins, joined at the hip, Siamese twins? You have a life for yourself, lady. You're just doing too much. You're just making me resent you. You're gonna have to tell her. Just be blunt. I'm resenting you because it's like I can't fucking breathe. You're so fucking insecure. You want to be up under me all the time, and I hate it. I can't stand it. What are you gonna do if I file for divorce and get away just to get away from you? You need to understand this. It's getting to that point. I don't want to be around you all the time. I want some time to myself, and you need to be okay with that. If you can't, maybe you should go and see a shrink because this is destroying our marriage. It's destroying my love for you, and it's making me feel crazy. I feel like in order to save myself, I'm gonna have to leave you. That's what you're saying here, reading between the lines. You might not be consciously aware of it yet, but I understand what you're talking about. I understand how you're feeling. I can tell by the words that you use and the anxiety that's coming across from your word, from your letter. You're gonna have to just be blunt with her. She's gonna cry. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go out the door and get in your car and drive off. That's what you're gonna do and let her cry. Don't you have a buddy you can stand, a relative or something? Stay there a couple of days. Let her get used to you not being there. Go rent a hotel room. I don't care what you have to do. Do something so that you have some time and space by yourself. And then you can go back and say, do you understand how this needs to change? I cannot be looking at you all day long, every day. It's not going to work. You got to do stuff by yourself. We're not kids. We're not twins. You better find your nuts. You better find them because this is crazy. I just don't understand you. 3 dogs. What's wrong with one? Why do people have so many damn furry beasts? That's just, that's too much hair. Question number 10, female, 28 to 35. 34, she's black, from St. Louis, Missouri. The male is 35 to 41. Summary of issue, my boyfriend expects me to spend $100 on his birthday gift. I'm 32 and just had a fight with my boyfriend who's 37 about our upcoming birthdays. We both have birthdays toward the end of October and only 2 days apart. My boyfriend says we should both spend equal amounts when buying each other gifts for our birthdays. I disagree. For context, I have been unemployed for almost a year due to mental health issues. I do DoorDash occasionally on the side, but only so that I can pay rent. I can pay my bills and buy things I need, gas, food, and rent. My boyfriend has been unemployed at the same company has been employed at the same company for 13 years and currently is making over $70,000 a year. He has been fighting with me all night saying that we need to have equality and I need to spend the same amount as him on our birthday gifts. I bring up the fact that I'm unemployed, but he doesn't care. He says that I choose to be unemployed, so that doesn't mean I should have to spend less. I don't choose to be unemployed. I struggle with even getting out of bed most days and might get on medication soon. He also brings up the fact that I have $5,000 in savings that I received when my grandfather died Why did you tell him that? What a dummy. I'm trying to save this money because I don't know how much longer I will be unemployed. I told him I'm trying to save that money and he got really pissed. I just don't know if I will be working anytime soon or at least until I find a medication that works. I feel like this relationship is probably not good for me, but I guess I'm asking for advice. You should know that I pay all my own bills and my portion of the rent. We live with a roommate and pay the rent in thirds. I have never not paid my rent, even when I was really depressed. I still made myself go get the money. I have my own car and I pay insurance, gas, and everything. I bought my own phone and I pay the plan. I buy my own groceries and I only eat my own food. He has a gluten allergy. He only pays for me when we go on dates, but that is also very rare. Okay, so what? Why are you being free pussy for this motherfucker? That's all that's going on here. You're not getting shit from it. He's not giving you anything, and then he's complaining because you, as an unemployed person with mental illness, don't want to spend $100 on him for his birthday, and he wants to have access to the $5,000 your grandfather left you, which is really nothing. But I guess if you don't unemployed, don't have no money, it's better than nothing. I want you to look into a place where you can go. Do they have any boarding? Where are you again? Boarding houses for women, something like that. Oh, St. Louis. Okay, I don't know what's in St. Louis. Look into some place where you can go, and then you pack your stuff and you go there. You're paying everything that you can pay like a roommate, except he's getting pussy out the deal. He's not doing shit for you. He's not helping you in any way. And they had the nerve to complain. You need to make that happen before the end of the month. And what I want you to do is go back to him and tell him, you know what? Let's not celebrate our birthdays. You don't get me anything, and I'm not getting you anything. We'll just say happy birthday to each other and just call it a day. Okay? That's what we're gonna do. Because you guys are you're old. There's no he's on the downstroke to 40. And you in your what did you say you were like in your early 30s? Yeah, 32, 37. So I think that's what it said. So it's like, what are you guys doing? Why do you need to exchange gifts anyway? Why do you need a birthday gift? You just ask a card, a cheap one from the dollar store. Don't get no Hallmark. Them boys be $7, $8. Get them a dollar card at the 99-cent store and say happy birthday, motherfucker, on it. And that's it. And you start looking for a place for you to move. Your $5,000 will come in handy because help you get the fuck up away from him. Okay? That's what I want you to do. You will never gonna feel better mentally as long as you're under some kind of food like this. And everything you're doing for yourself already, you can just do that at your own spot. Okay? That's what you're gonna do. My goodness. Girl, if you don't get away from this food. See what I mean? This is why we're doing this toxic relationships seminar. I moved it to November. Right? Did I move it to November or December? I think I moved it to December. Because I haven't had time. But the more I do the show, the more I see that women are just involving themselves in toxic relationships, and y'all stay in them. You stay in them. You try to, quote, make it work instead of understanding the poison that is bringing into your life, the drama, the heartache, the mental and emotional upset, the financial drama, all of it. Every single relationship that we've heard about tonight has been a toxic relationship or on its way to being one. And yet the women stay. Let's move on. Question number 11, male 22 to 27. He's Latino from Orlando, Florida. The female is in the 28 to 34 age group. Summary of issue. How do I tell my female friend that I don't think we can be friends anymore? She's a few years older than me, 29, and I'm 25. But she is one of my closest friends for several years. Around 6 months ago, I asked her out, and she said no because she was moving and just got out of a long-distance relationship a few months earlier. One of the main reasons they broke up was because of the distance. We still talk every day, and I'm finding it hard to just be friends, especially when I know she's seeing other people. Obviously, what she does with her own dating life is her own choice, and I want to be happy for her. Unfortunately, I don't think I can objectively say that I am. I still want to be with her, but also understand that the circumstances aren't ideal for us to even try anything. Last night, we were walking around after dinner, and she reminded me how she hopes we're lifelong friends. A part of me feels like a conversation should be had, but I don't want to blindside her by telling her I don't think we can be friends. I feel like there's a middle ground somewhere. Do you have any advice on how to approach this conversation? Yeah, you should have told her as soon as you asked her out and she said no, that you couldn't be friends then because you want something else. And friends means platonic. So here you are looking at her with longing and lust and wanting to be like her man and crap. And she's just like lifelong friends. And you should have told her right then, no, we're not gonna be lifelong friends. As soon as I find somebody that I want to love and screw and all of this stuff and date, I'm gonna dump you. Because you already said that's not what you're interested in. That's what I want. And if I can't get it from you, I'm gonna get it from somewhere. So that means we're not gonna be friends plus the date that happens. I just want you to know, put you on notice. We probably shouldn't even be friends now that you start, getting her warmed up to the idea. But since you didn't do that when you should have done it, you made a problem for yourself. But like I said, you just, you can use that as your segue. But the other day you said you hope that we can be friends for a long time, and I've been thinking about that. And the answer to that question is no, that shit ain't happening. That's not gonna happen because of the fact that we really can't even be friends. I mean, it's really hard for me to be a friend to you when I want something else, and you know that, but you're still trying to keep me in your circle as a quote friend while you dealing down with all these other guys. You on some bullshit right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hang up, and then we're done here, ma'am. Don't call me no more. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna find a woman who wants to be with me the way I want to be with her. That ain't you. So there's no point in this. And then there you go. You at this point you better start thinking about yourself. Stop trying to be friends with her like that and just letting her use up all your free time. You need to be spending that time that you dilly dallying around with a woman that you have no chance with on women that you do have a chance with. Okay, and we only have so much free time. You got jobs, we got school, we got to sleep, we got to exercise, we got to cook, clean, do our laundry, all that stuff, right? Those are things that we have to do, and we have to make time for them. So you have a limited amount of free time. Don't waste it on her. Find you somebody else. And that's what you need to tell her. Question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's European from London. The male in question is the 28 to 34 age group, also white. Question summary. So, Deb, why did my date unhinge his jaw and he. Wait a minute. Wait. Wait. Why did my date unhinge his jaw and eat his food like a snake? Okay, lady. Okay, I recently signed up to a swipey thing last week and got chatting to a guy on there. Fast forward to yesterday, and we meet at a local restaurant slash pub. First of all, he lied. He was shorter than the 5'11" he mentioned on his bio. Plus, his face looked 10 years older, and he wore baggy jeans. When we ordered food, he ate like a snake. I mean, he clicked out his jaw and opened his mouth really wide to take a huge bite, just like how snakes unhinge their jaw to swallow whole rats. I cannot explain how gross I was. I feel really terrible that I'm looking for an excuse to block him and move on. Am I overreacting? Nope. I tell you, I tell you, I'm real funny about how men eat. If they chew too loud, I'm done. If they chew with their mouth open, I'm done. If they don't take the shell off the shrimp and they sit across from me crunching, I'm done. If they order a steak and there's blood on the plate, I'm done. I have so many things that I just be done over. So I don't blame you. That would freak me the fuck out. I'll be start looking at him like he was from that movie. What's that movie when them aliens came to Earth? Z or something? What's it called? Z or X or something like that. And they look like people, but they were some kind of serpents or something. I watched it a couple of times and gave me the willies, and I couldn't. I had nightmares about it, and I couldn't. And this is as an adult. There's something about that show that's just a little too realistic for me. I couldn't watch it, but it reminds me of that, where he's human, but he got snake tendencies. Oh my God, girl, I don't know how you stood it. I would have been sitting up there like Celie, looking at him and just went, you know, I couldn't eat. I just had to give him the Celie, you know. Well, she only went on one date with him, so it's not like they're, a couple or nothing. But girl, when he tried to get her go, if he calls you about trying to do it again, you say, "Oh no, I couldn't possibly." I met someone else, and you're in your mind thinking, I met someone who eats like a human. But you're not going to tell them that. But you're just going to say, no, it was a nice foray. I just started on this thing, and I, would like to explore more options. Thank you. Question number 13, female 22 to 27 from Wichita, Kansas. Summary of issues. How do I reject a guy that I've been on 5 dates with? Ooh, that's a lot. He must have done something that really fucked up. I went on 5 dates with this guy. He's very handsome. He's funny. He's ambitious and a great guy. I kept agreeing to go to his date ideas because I did really enjoy spending time with him and I felt attracted to him. He always offered to pay, even though I offered to split the bill with him every time, which I feel a bit bad about. We did make out a lot, and I do feel attracted to him. However, the last date, I realized the conversational chemistry isn't there. It's kind of superficial, and I couldn't see myself spending hours with him doing nothing. I agreed to another date with him. He wants to cook dinner with me at his place since he asked me at the end of the night. But this morning, I felt that I'm not interested anymore. I feel bad about rejecting him since I already spent so much time with him. How should I go about canceling the date and ultimately rejecting him? Just tell him that you met somebody else. I mean, okay, look, your arsenal has to include several things. I've met someone else that, and this just knocked my socks off. It's so unexpected. I didn't know what to do. It just like hit me like a lightning bolt. So I really want to explore things with him, but it's been great these weeks with you. These days with you are just been wonderful. You're a great guy. I don't really have a problem with you, but this guy, oh my God, I just can't. And you're going to just sing this guy's praises, this imaginary dude, and then you're going to just move on and you're going to block him at the end of that conversation. Or you could tell him that, yes, I joined the wifey thing because I broke up with my boyfriend, but we decided to give it one more try, so we're getting back together. And he's going to say, oh, why? What are you going to say? Oh, I know, but I love him, though. But I love him, though. And then you just get rid of them right away. But one thing, yeah, they split. That alone should tell a dude if a girl always offers to split the bill, she ain't interested in you like that. She's putting up a barrier. She's putting up a barrier. It's like she's keeping you in the friend zone. Dudes don't understand that though. They think that they're getting over if the woman offers to split the bill. In reality, if you got a woman who's always offering to split the bill, she ain't interested in you like that. You're just wasting your time and hers. She might enjoy some aspect of you, but it's never going to jump off the way that you think because it's just not going to happen. She want to make sure that she keeps that distance between you. She's not going to let you start treating her in a gentlemanly fashion where she's going to get that attached to you. She is telling you right there every time she pulls out her credit card or pulls out $40 that it ain't happening. Not the way you think. Not the way you want. That's what dudes need to understand. Why they be busy talking about, why should I have to pay? Oh, you have to pay because that's part of the seduction. If you want her to see your full masculinity, I don't care what kind of place you take her to. It don't have to be no 5-star restaurant. Wherever you take her, though, you need to pay. If she offers to pay and you say no and she insists, that's your ticket right there. That lets you know whatever plans you had to get busy with her and think it was going to be something jumping off, it's not going to happen. She's telling you right there, oh, no, I insist. Or worse yet, when she's going to pay for you too, she's really done with your ass. That's your kiss, the kiss of death to anything that you was thinking you was going to get going on. When she offers to pay for you, she's treating you like a little bitch. Any man with any sense would say, absolutely not. I don't let women pay for that. At least you might redeem yourself a little bit. But if you sit back and cross your legs and let her pay, you stupid. Because now you done slid off the masculinity platform into the little bitch platform, and there shall you stay. And so, these days everybody knows everybody, so you better be careful with that. These dudes be trying to get over thinking that they done come up by doing that. But anyway, that's what you're going to do, okay? You got somebody, he might be a nice dude, but he's stupid. That's never going to work. Question number 14, female 22 to 27. She's a Pisces. She's European from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The male in question is in the 28 to 34 age group, and he's a Capricorn. So she's a Pisces, and he's a Capricorn. Shay knows about this stuff. Summary of issue. My husband doesn't let me rest. I'm 25 and been married to my husband for 32 for 3 years. I've been with my husband for 3 years, but we recently got married. I'm in a demanding healthcare program. I graduate soon, though, and I would say it is the toughest and most demanding time. I also work, so in between school, my job, cooking, cleaning, and studying, I'm stretched thin. My husband doesn't understand how much the program takes out of me. When we have our hospital clinicals 14-hour days, I am dead tired when I get home. All I have energy for is eating, doing the dishes, and then sleeping. This week I had two 14-hour days in a row. I also didn't sleep much because we had two exams this week. My husband has been telling me he wants to spend more time with me. When I got home yesterday, we went on a walk and went out to a restaurant. When I got home, I told him I was exhausted and needed to go to bed. He got upset and said, I thought we were going to spend time together and watch TV. I told him that I was too tired. I couldn't think. He responded, we all have jobs. We're all tired. I was a little upset that he didn't want me to rest, and I thought maybe he's been lonely because I'm so busy. So I told him we could cuddle and watch TV in bed. He started kissing me, and I was so tired I kind of pulled back, but he kept hugging me to him. He got upset and said, but we haven't been intimate in 4 days. But Deb, I've been on my cycle and also at the hospital so much. Normally we do it every day, sometimes multiple times a day. What? You be doing too much. I think this is the longest that we've ever gone. At this point, I was really upset with him and finally snapped at him to leave me alone so I could go to sleep. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown. This past weekend, we went on walks together, went to a couple of dinners, did sports together, and went to a concert. I feel like I'm giving every ounce of myself that I can. How can I get through to him that I am burnt out and convey how difficult my program is? Don't you have somebody else that you can stay to until you graduate with, stay with until you graduate? Or at least on the weekends, start going and taking yourself into some cheap hotel somewhere. I'm not cheap, not too cheap. I mean, you don't want it to be like one of the kinds that's like all, sketchy. But stay in a nice hotel somewhere where you can get some rest. Stay with a friend where you can get some rest. A friend whose address he doesn't know. Is there a spare room at the hospital that you can stay? I mean, there has to be some setup that you can set up for yourself where you can be away from him and get some sleep. In the back of my mind, I'm sensing that he wants you to fail. He wants you to fail. He's doing everything in his power to divert your energy and time from concentrating on your program and getting out of there and being successful. He wants you to fail, and this is his way of doing it. So you need to bring that up to him and say, look, it's like you're trying to sabotage me. I have this demanding schedule. I'm trying to graduate. I have a full-time job. And then you want me to spend all this time with you holding your hand like a baby. Don't you have any friends that you could be with? It's a short time to make a short sacrifice. Some people do that where a person goes off to the other side of the country or somewhere, goes into the service or whatever to get benefits that's going to help them in the long run. But you can't even let me get an 8-hour night of sleep. I don't know, girl. He had to be showing these signs of some kind of, some kind of these behaviors before you actually married him. Did you not notice them, or did this amp up after he feels like, quote, you're mine because you guys took vows? Something to think about, because that does happen. Some guys feel like, my wife, they have different kind of rights and property and control over you than they do when you're just a girlfriend or a fiance. That does happen. But this is something that, it just seems like he had to have shown some of these traits before, which would have been a red flag for me that you're going to have a struggle. Because you just got married recently and things sound like they ramped up. So you need to investigate some options, like I said, some places where you can go on the weekend and, you go straight from your hospital, your practicum or whatever, and you go to that spot and you lead him to his own devices on the weekend, at least for one day. And then you can be with him on Sunday or something. He's just doing the most. You good, because I would have already had to cuss him out. And what is this multiple times a day? What are you? Give his ass a blow-up doll. What kind of shit is that? It's not even like fun anymore. I don't understand. Is it just me? That just seems too much. You know what I mean? Too much. It's like, what the fuck? Where's the romance in that? It's just like you just there for him to relieve himself. That doesn't even sound like any kind of, love and affection and all this kind of stuff. It's just like a bunny rabbit humping on you. Maybe it's just me. That wouldn't work for me. That would not work. I wouldn't feel good about that. Question number 15, male, 22 to 27. He's black. Cancer is his sun sign, from Santa Ana, California. Summary of issue. I don't understand how people in relationships end relationships so easily. How can I be less attached? I'm 24 and I guess I'm just weird. It's apparently so easy for everyone else to just cut people out of their lives, but it's been really hard for me. I can spend weeks hanging out and talking with a girl, and then I wake up one morning and I'm blocked. I guess it's supposed to be easy for me to just completely forget about this person, like they never meant anything to me. I don't get it. I also can't ask for an explanation, and I can't do anything to make things right. I know people are telling me that my feelings are unhealthy, but I think that people that just block and remove people from their lives for no apparent reason are scarier to me. I feel like you gotta be a psychopath. Why do I have such a hard time forgetting about people and moving on? Because you're a Cancer, and it's your sign. That's your innate nature to hang on. Read up on it. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to believe in all that kind of stuff, and I'm not saying you read your little thing in the newspaper or the magazine and it's going to be accurate for everybody. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I have noticed that there's certain kind of behavior traits that tend to be manifested by people with, that have a lot of influence from their different sign. It could be a sun sign. You could be Cancer in more than one plant. Like moon and sun and something else. I mean, we don't really know, but a lot of these traits are things that you will see across the board in people of that sign. And so that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% accurate science or anything like that. But I have noticed that every man who I've ever met who's a Cancer has that trait. They just want to fucking hang on, just hang on to stuff and not let go. They just have a hard time with that. So in this situation, though, you got to realize this one thing right here. Just because you, quote, talking to somebody, that doesn't make her your girlfriend. You don't have no commitment with that girl. She ain't your woman. So these feelings that you having about her just deciding that you don't want to talk to you no more are misplaced. They're inappropriate. You could have that if you've been with somebody for months and months, years or something, and then you wake up one morning and you block. Well, then I could kind of understand it. But you talking about a couple of weeks, and you mainly texting, and you all devastated like that. It's not that serious, okay? You got to understand your position in her life. You don't have one. So for you to feel, getting all in your feelings about it is a little much. It's a bit much, sir. I don't think that there's psychopaths. I think that, that sometimes when, especially with women, there's a lot of fear involved. There's fear because you tell a dude you don't want to talk to him anymore. She never knows, are you going to be a sane one who's going to take it well? Or are you going to be one of them ones that's going to flip the fuck out and want to stalk her and hurt her? We never know that. It's not like you guys have a sign on your forehead. We don't know which one you are. So the safest option is to just ghost you and just not say nothing. That's the safest option for women. That's why they do it. Okay? So don't take it personally. Just understand what time it is and just deal with it. Okay? And you should be talking to 2 or 3 or 4 women at the same time. So maybe that'll help you not, be putting all this focus on one person. Because it's just a bit much. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's a bit much. Question number 16. How many questions would I say we have? 20-something. Female, 18 to 21. She's Black, from Washington, D.C. So I kind of got peer pressured into agreeing to a first date, and now I need help figuring how to get out of it. We've been texting back and forth for maybe a couple of days, but I've been getting some weird vibes, and I don't know if I feel comfortable enough with actually going on a date. I don't want to hurt his feelings, and I also don't want to be mean, but I don't know if I can convince myself to go, as I'm really uncomfortable and have been stressing about going. Any advice to try to get out of this issue, out of this date, and my ghosting him is not going to work. That's not an option because I think that's so rude. Well, yeah, it's probably not. It probably is if you know people in your circle that know the dude. You can't really ghost him because, yeah, that wouldn't work. It only works when it's a complete stranger. But you 18 to 21 and you let yourself get peer pressured. That's shit little kids do. What's wrong with you? You're too old for that. You don't know how to say no and stick to it. You don't know how, if you in a situation out in public with a group of people and they jamming you up, you get your keys and you go home. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to call yourself a cab or Uber, get your bus pass in motion. Call a friend to come and pick you up. You don't know how to do that to escape the situation where they're trying to pressure you to go out with somebody that you don't want to go out with. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to say no and then get up and go and say, I already said no. So this conversation is over. You don't know how to do that? You need to fucking learn. Okay? You don't let yourself get peer pressured. This you let yourself get peer pressure. Now you've already sent a message to this dude. If I just put enough pressure on her, she's gonna give me what I want because she's weak. She's spineless and she does what everybody wants her to do because she's a pleaser. That's the message that you're communicating. When you do, you let other people tell you what to do. And when you don't want to do it. I wish I would get peer pressured into something. I'd be the more likely to want peer pressuring somebody. But I don't even like to do that. If somebody tells me I don't want to do it, I'm fine with that. It's a free country. Do what the fuck you want to do. If I'm trying to do some shenanigans, I want somebody who's a willing participant in my fuckery. I don't want nobody to be like all, full of trepidation and fear and the concern and worry. That's going to ruin my good time. So I don't understand people who do this kind of thing, but this is what you're going to do. Number one, you're going to text this guy and say, I never really wanted to go out with you in the first place, so I'm going to renege on my promise. I'm not going. That's what you're going to do. You're going to send him a text. Now, he's going to write back and say, well, why not? Say, because I never wanted to go in the first place, so I felt pressured into it, and I'm going to renege now. And so you keep saying the same thing over and over, okay, until he gets it. Then you're going to go to your friends, and you're going to say, if you guys ever try to do any shit like that to me again, our friendship is over. If I say no, that's what I mean. But I'm going to give you this one chance because you probably thought it was funny. It was fun. It was a good time. The answer, if I say I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it, and you going to like it. That's how it's going to be. And I said, anytime you don't work, that doesn't work for you, then, like I said, this friendship can be over. Okay? And that's how you're going to handle yourself. From now on, Miss 18 to 21, you don't let people tell you what to do with your time, your energy, your body, and your money. It's yours. You are the sole decider of all of those things. Okay? Yeah. So you heed my warning. When you allow yourself to be pressured into stuff, that sends a message to all the guys who are watching. Oh, okay, this is what I can do, and I'll get what I want out of her easy. Because she don't have no spine. She don't know how to say no and stick to it. She's easy to pressure into something. And that's what's going to happen to you. And then you're going to be mad. Well, I ended up with this and that, and I didn't really want to. But, and then once you say but, I know that it was because you just didn't have no spine. So you better heed my warning. Get your shit together. Question number 17, female, 22 to 27, from Indianapolis, Indiana. My boyfriend of a year has been working for the same company for 4 years, working part-time, 24 hours, making $17 an hour. He gets up at 4 a.m. every day and works any extra hours he can. He works hard with what he's got, and I give him that. But 2 months ago, he moved in with me. He lived at home still and was at my place every day. So we split the rent while I living with a roommate. Life has been great about paying he's been great about paying his half, and he will always send his half early without being asked, even if it means he can't eat for a week afterwards. That means he can't afford to live there. And if he comes up with anything extra, he'll give me more. But now that my roommate and I have decided to part ways for unrelated reasons, so me and him have found a new place, which he was overjoyed about. He wanted our own space really bad and insisted on this place he loved. The price of the apartment is double what we pay now, $800 to $1,600. But I can still afford it alone if it came to that. Me and him have been very open about finances from the start, so I'm fully aware that it would be impossible to hold up his end without a little extra part-time job or something, extra hours. He can't do DoorDash or any of those due to a recent driving incident. So before making the decision on the apartment, I explained multiple times how important it was that he found something that would supplement his income, and he assured me that he would. But it's been 2 weeks since we applied for the apartment, and he gets off work and just chills at the house until I get home. I've sat down with him about it multiple times, and he says, you're right. Tomorrow I'm going out there and going to check out 20 places. And he sounds super pumped, but he ends up getting off, changing into a hoodie, and just scrolling on Indeed for 30 minutes, but not really applying for anything. The fact that he is so good with his other job and makes sure to make the rent every month, but then only works part-time and was basically handed his current job by his aunt years ago, has me confused on what sort of person he is. Is this a bad sign? Or am I expecting too much too early? Is there something different I should try? I'm starting to feel like a nag. Yet what you should try is that you go to that place that you put that application in, and you rescind it. And you find a place that's only $800, $900. And if you insist on moving in, then that's how you're going to do it. But the fact that he pays his half, and then he can't even eat that week, why would you want to be with a man who's that broken, who's struggling that much? He doesn't seem to be very motivated. He should be having a full-time job at his age, not a part-time job for $17 an hour. This wouldn't work for me because it seems like you guys are very mismatched in developmentally and in maturity. I suspect that what's going to happen is, since he knows you can't afford the $1,600 by yourself, that's what you're going to be doing, because he's not going to have the money. If he didn't have $400, well, it probably was less than $400 because you had a roommate paying half of the $800. Right? I'm not really seeing where this is going to work. You keep nagging him to trying to get him to change to be the man that you want him to be, but he's not showing you that that's what's going to happen. It's been weeks now. If he really wanted that place, he would have been hustling to make sure he had his money for the deposit, because you got to do first, last, and all that kind of stuff. But he's expecting you to do all that. He's not going to contribute nothing to it. He's just going to be living there like a kid. Girl, if you do this, you a fool. That's all I'm going to say. You would be a dummy. Question number 18, female, 35 to 42, age group, from Bradford in the UK. Have I made a huge mistake? I just moved in with my partner and his adult sons, and now I'm wondering. I really thought that this would be the best move I've ever made, but it's starting to feel like a nightmare already. We've been together for 11 years. Oh my God, what? We have been long distance while both sets of children have been growing up. My youngest has just gone off to university and was always a plan. I've left my job and I'm in the process of selling my house. I have savings to tie me over and a side hustle from before that is becoming my main source of income, and it's working from home. So for the last year, it's been proper prepping for the move, getting my house ready to sell, and general excitement about finally living together. Our relationship is the best I've ever had, and I have loved him with all my heart, which makes how I'm feeling now even harder. My partner lives rurally in a small house on the family farm. That's not a problem. I love the outdoors and have been looking forward to a different way of life. The problem is his adult sons. They're 23 and 25 and still living home. One is working, so I think he'll fly the nest eventually. But the younger one has never had a proper job and games all day. They are both nice lads, but I'm really struggling with living in a house with an established family routine. Feeling like I'm in someone else's space with other people's stuff. I really didn't think I'd feel like this, and I'm really so homesick from my lovely house. I've obviously been a regular visitor here for over a decade, so knew what I was getting myself into, so I've only got myself to blame. Although until a couple of years ago, when it became apparent that the boys would still be living here, I think that I took that into consideration and thought that I could live with it. Now I'm not so sure. It's only been a week since I moved in, and I know it's early, but I'm not sure I can stand it. I underestimated how much I don't want to be a stepmom, cooking and cleaning for 3 adult men. My partner doesn't expect it, but obviously I've always done it for my own girls, so it's a natural role for me and one that I expected to take up when I came here. My partner's always said that my happiness is his priority and that I can change whatever I like in the house, that he wants me to feel like it's my home too. And to a certain extent, he is prioritizing my feelings and happiness above the status quo with his sons, but I feel like I can't expect much to change. His sons aren't going to move out anytime soon, and any kind of pressure in that direction would cause problems in our relationship. It sounds bad, but I could quite easily pack my things today and drive home while he's at work. But I love him though. He is my future, I'm very certain of that, and I don't want my relationship to end. I just can't stand the thought of living with 2 man children for the foreseeable future. How do I get through this and make it work? You pack your shit and go back to your house and take it off unlisted. That's what you do. And you stay at your house. And you go down and visit him for a week or two or weekends, whatever you're going to do. and you continue this relationship until them kids move out. But don't think that means they might not move back, because that happens. The main thing is these are adults. What are you doing? Moving in there, cooking and cleaning them, being a quote stepmom to grown men. That's not your place. If they want to sit there and starve because they didn't cook, well, then they'll just starve. Your thing is, if you cook, it's for you and your man. That's it. They on their own. Especially if you buying the groceries, I wouldn't be feeding those motherfuckers. They could starve. Seriously. Especially the one who want to sit on his ass gaming all day. Why is his daddy let him do that and not get out and get a job? So, you got to look at your dude with the side eye. Your daughters are working and going off to university and stuff, and his son's sitting there playing PlayStation all day. That alone should tell you that you guys, there's a problem here. Your ideals, your values are very different. That would never work for me. I think every able-bodied man in their house better be working, not sit around twiddling around playing video games. You got to have a job. That alone would have kept me from moving in there, sitting around. No. And then, like I said, I'd be looking at my dude like, what the fuck is your problem? While you have a grown man, you supporting him and stuff like he's pimping you? That's okay with you? Girl, get your shit and put your stuff in your car and you drive back to your house. You call on your way to the house, you call that real estate agent and tell them to unlist your house immediately because the deal is off and you're staying. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to get all your stuff back out of storage. You're going to put your stuff back in your house and you're going to stay your little ass in your house. That's what you're going to do. You can still date him if you want to, but I'm not sure. You feel like it's your future and all this old stuff. I don't know. Maybe after his kids move out and have families of their own, but I wouldn't bank on it. It's like you didn't look at the reality and you're seeing it now that you're actually there. Pay attention to what you're seeing and how you're feeling and get your ass back to your house real quick before it's too late. Question number 19, male, 50 to 56. He's European from Southampton in the UK. Summary of issue. I feel like I will never be able to find love. I'm 54 years old and I'm athletic, but the women don't pay any attention to me anymore. I haven't been in the dating scene for a while because of trust issues. Both of my exes cheated on me. I haven't dated for so long that I don't know how to even start a conversation with a woman anymore. Actually, he said female, but I changed it to woman. Should I look for good pickup lines? No, you shouldn't. Do you ladies have any that you can suggest for me? No, we don't. I am really ready to get intimate again. Okay, so you wrote me, a 54-year-old man, because you ladies aren't paying no attention to you and you want some coochie. That's what you basically are writing me this letter for. That's your goal here. That's what you mentioned. Not that you're there, you're looking because you were ready to love, you've been through therapy, you got rid of your trust issues, you're ready to trust somebody again and give love and be a support system. You want to get your dick wet. That's what you're writing me for. Okay, I'm not going to cuss you out because I'm tired. These people before you have worn me out. I'm just going to say this. Nobody's looking at you because you're 54. If you looked at women that were like 50, then they would look at you. But I can tell the way that you're talking right now, you're not looking at women in your age group. You're looking at women in their 20s and 30s and wondering why they don't look at you with your grandpa ass. You're older than their daddy. That's how old you are to them. They're not going to look at you as a partner. They're looking at you as some creepy old man. So you need to change your focus and find somebody who's in your age group. Now, you said you had women who cheated on you. Do you know that that's a sign that if both of your exes, because women usually don't do all that, there's something missing, and looking at how you communicated about your, what you're looking for as a quote relationship, I would bet that they felt emotionally void in the quote relationship, because nothing in this is about love and commitment and a future. Nothing. All you talking about is some pussy. That's what you want. You don't need to write an advice column that's about that. That's your idea. That's what you're dating for. They have people in that line of work. You can just go pay them and just get, do what you need to do and not worry some poor woman who's online really looking for a relationship. something serious with somebody. You deserve to get cussed out, but like I said, I'm tired today, and so I'm not going to. But understand, you escaped like by the skin of your teeth. Because I really do want to rip you up one side down the other. But I'm not, because I have a bunch more letters to do and I need to conserve my energy. Yeah, just like waste of time. Question number 20, male 22 to 27 from North York, Canada. Summary of issue. How do you date someone knowing that they're talking to somebody else? Most of my relationships have been with people that I've been close with. So I'm new to the dating people from swipey thing or social media thing. Right now, I'm quote dating someone who I'm not exclusive with, and she is still active on the swipey thing. It bothers me. I know it shouldn't. We're not exclusive yet, and she can do whatever she wants, but it still bothers me. We do a lot of relationship and romantic stuff, which obviously creates feelings in me. So to see her still actively looking for other people is kind of weird. But obviously, I'm an adult and I need to be mature about the situation. So how does everyone else do it? You know what they do if they want to be with the person exclusively? They open their goddamn mouth and they say that. She's on the other thing. She's on the other thing still looking because that's what she's supposed to do because you don't have a commitment. What the fuck? If you want to have a commitment with her, then open your goddamn mouth and say that. Say, look, I just want to see you. How do you feel about just seeing me and getting off the swipey thing and focusing on each other? See what we can do here as a couple. That's what you do as a grown man. That's what you do. Okay? You don't have to do this, but she's damning herself correctly. You're supposed, and you should have been doing that too. That's what you're supposed to do until you find a person that you want to be serious with. Okay, now that sounds like you did that. So you need to open your mouth and let her know that that's where you are and that's what you want to do. If she says she doesn't want to, then it's just cut it off because it's not working for you, and you're the one who wrote the letter, so you're the one who needs to make a change. The person who's unhappy is the one who needs to take their life into their hands and make the appropriate changes. Okay, it's not on her to make a change for you, and it's not on me to do it for you either. It's on you to make a change, to make it be something that you can handle and that'll make you happy. If dating a woman who wants to date other people because y'all don't have no commitment is not what you want to do, then you either need to A, make a commitment, or B, understand that she doesn't want one, in which case you dump her and go find somebody who wants the kind of relationship that you do. Okay, see, it's just very easy. The main thing is you ain't asked her, and so you sit up here agonizing about her seeing other people, but you haven't done nothing to let her know that you want something different. So she gonna keep doing it because you haven't said anything. You big dummy. Oh my God. Question number 21, female 20 to 34 from Aberdeen, Scotland. Males, both 35 to 41 age group. Oh, males, more than one. Summary of issue. My brother insists that I apologize to appease his bestie. I'll make it short and sweet. A few months back, I'm 33, I was clearly followed during a walk in a way that made me feel threatened and unsafe. The stalker turned out to be my brother's 38 best friend's brother-in-law. Okay, so your brother's best friend, his brother-in-law. Okay. My brother's bestie is going through a genuinely tough time right now. His brother-in-law is pressuring him, and as a result, my brother wants me to get in touch with the dude and apologize to quote keep the peace. So what does he live with him or something? So he's supposed to sacrifice you to keep so his friend can have a place to stay with the brother-in-law who's chasing after you in the dark and following you on the walk? That's what I'm understanding here. I refuse. It is putting a strain on our relationship, and my brother's been getting pushier. I don't know how to properly impress on my brother. I trust my impression of events, and I would not feel safe getting in touch with this guy. He has a million excuses why I should or could, and I'm considering going low contact. Is there anything I can say that will make him see how inappropriate this ask is, rather? Is there another way I can support him in lieu of doing this? It's not your job to support your brother's bestie's relationship with his brother-in-law. Mind your goddamn business, okay? Your job is to mind your business and handle stuff for you. You're putting your focus on the wrong thing. You can say going low contact. No, you're gonna go no contact. You already told your brother no. See, again, a boundary, and you're not he's not trying to hear what you're saying when you told him no. And he's more worried about his friend. Are they fucking? What's the problem here? What brother's gonna sacrifice his sister safety for a male buddy. Are you sure that's just his bestie? Sound like they fucking to me. Okay, your brother got a little sugar in his tank and got a secret relationship with this man. That's what it sounds like, because there's no way in this world that a normal brother would sacrifice his sister's safety and peace of mind for some other motherfucking man. That's some bullshit. So you gonna block your brother. Better yet, get a new phone number. Get you a burner phone. And you call, if you got to call your mother, you call her on that burner phone. So he'll say, oh, yeah, she got a new number, and give him that. And then you can look at it. And then when the month's payment or whatever you pay for is up, you throw it away and you get another one. If he knows where you are, where you work, be sure to alert security, show them his picture, and say he is not to have any access to me or come into this building at all. Okay, got it? Be very careful about this brother-in-law, this best friend's brother-in-law. He sounds weird. He's trailing you on a walk. That's stalking. He hasn't done or said anything, so there's really nothing you can report to the police yet. But be very aware of that. If you have to go somewhere, try not to go by yourself. If you have the ability to get you a big, ferocious dog, get one. Bad things have happened from guys that get fixated on young ladies like this. Okay, I don't want that to be you. Because it sounds like this guy's trying to exert pressure on his brother, the bestie, his younger brother-in-law, to get access to you. That's his game. Don't fall for it. Go no contact immediately. Block your brother. Like I said, it's better yet to get a different phone number. You can I don't know what they got in the UK, if they have Google phone numbers over there, but one of them kind of, message-based center things, you can actually put it on your phone and make calls to it. That's why I like Google. So that it's going to show that Google number when you call, not your real number. And then, find whatever they have in the UK that works the same principle, and then you use that to make your calls, or like I said, get a burner phone. But you're going to change your number. You're going to do that tomorrow. Question number 22, female, 18 to 21. She's African American. She's a Gemini and from Denver, Colorado. My boyfriend of almost a month asked me for money yesterday. Oh, did he now? He didn't even wait. I am dumbfounded, and I just cannot believe it. It wasn't a small amount either. It was well into the thousands. Oh. Dad, we met on a swipey thing, and he quickly asked me to be his girlfriend, which should have been a red flag. I don't know why I didn't see it at the time. I've never felt so safe around a man before, so I lost my V to him. Oh. I just feel so stupid. He said it was to sort out his credit card payment for the next month, and he would give it back to me as soon as he gets paid. I definitely don't have that kind of money to give, so I politely declined. It's just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm going to end it with him. The only real issue is I worry I may be pregnant. I won't know for sure until next week. Oh my God, I want to drop kick you. He really acts as if he's in love with me, but I see now that it's all been an act. Am I overreacting? Nope, you didn't react enough. When you don't even know a dude and he starts putting a mash on you to be his quote girlfriend, that means he's trying to secure you. He's trying to make your mind feel like you have a commitment so he can get something from you. In your case, he didn't even wait. He ran his game early. Money and booty. It's usually those. Sometimes it's money, booty, and a place to stay. Money, booty, a place to stay, and to drive your car. Whatever it is, they want something from you, so they fill your head with smoke and mirrors, which is flattery, and make feel sounds of love and all this old shit here, when he hasn't actually done anything to prove that. That's the thing that gets me about women. Y'all go on the words, and you don't look at, well, what is he doing that makes that be realistic? What is he bringing into my life? What has he changed? What has he improved in my world that he thinks that I should fall for him and be his girl? What has he done? But see, y'all don't be thinking like that. You just say, oh my God, he said he loves me and he wants me to be his girlfriend, and you just take it and run around the world with it. It drives me crazy. I don't understand why you do that. Okay, so at least though I believe, because I have this map, but it's on my wall in my other room. of the states that where abortion was strengthened, which is the whole West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California, like improved their abortion law, so you get more access to abortion. So after Roe v. Wade went away, we opened the door so you can get abortion for just about any reason, any time that you want to. In California, Oregon, and Washington, the West Coast is lit up. And then in Colorado, surrounded by a lot of states where they changed the laws and tried to make it illegal, it was also one of those states where abortion was approved, so you lucked out. So if you have a problem and find out, take your happy ass to the clinic and handle it. One thing you're not going to do is have a baby and fuck up your life because you were stupid and made a momentary mistake. That's not how this works. You're going to get rid of it and you're going to get rid of him. That's what you're going to do. I'm going to hope, though, that's not what happened and that it's just, you just upset and something. But if that does turn out to be the case, that's what you're going to do. Okay? A boyfriend of almost a month. Almost a month. Not even 6 weeks. Almost a month, y'all. He really acts as if he's in love with me. Yeah, I bet he does. Is he coming in there paying some of your bills? Is he taking you on some wonderful trips? Is he going over to your parents' house and bringing them gifts? How's he acting like he's so in love? What the fuck has he done except run his mouth? Girl, you better spend some time on this channel and learn something and get a little wiser here before you be out here dating and messing up your life. Question number 23, male, 28 to 34, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Summary of issue. My fiance, she's 28. Oh, no, he's 28. She's 29. Came out as bi, and I offered her a break, but now she's angry. Oh, she did. Auntie, I don't know what to do. We have been together for 3 years and there are no major issues. But a month or so back, my fiance came to me and said that she wants to confess something which has been bothering her for some time. Then she said that she has reached a conclusion that she is bi. She also said that it changes nothing between us, as it was not necessary for her to actually sleep with a woman to identify as bi. She said it was important for her to accept this part of herself. I, of course, support her in this choice of hers. Anyway, I went away and thought about it a lot and decided that it would be better for both of us if we take a break of 6 months so she can explore her sexuality and be sure. But it completely backfired and she got angry with me. It's been a week and she's still mad. Please help me convince her that I meant well. Why should I? Why should I do that? You said what you said. Did you mean it? Is that what was in your heart? You said you went away and thought about it. So why do you feel like that you have to convince her? It doesn't mean you don't have to convince her for shit. Your choice is your choice. Your reality is your reality. And if you want to take a 6-month break from her, you don't need her permission to do that. You don't need her buy-in. She doesn't have to accept it. You decide that you want a 6-month break from her ass, and then you take it. That's the wonderful thing about breaking up. It only requires one party to make that decision, not two. Okay, so she decided she wanted to be bi without you. Then you can decide that you want to have a break without her. That's how this works. When you make a decision that's going to impact the other person, there may be repercussions that you have to accept that come along with you making all these decisions. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to make these announcements and change the whole structure of the relationship that you were trying to get married to have her to be bringing some third party other women into the relationship, into your marriage. What would I do? I would say, give me my ring back and our engagement is off. Because I didn't sign up to be a woman who's going to be looking at other women. That's not the kind of wife I want. I want a regular wife that's going to be looking at me. Right? That's what you want, right? Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, then write back and tell me. But I mean, otherwise you wouldn't need to have a decision about it and go away for 6 months to think about it some more. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine, and you'd be 100% on board, but you're not. So that means that you were imagining something else when you proposed to her, and now she's trying to change the script. So you have every right to dip out. It's just like these people decided they want to be trans or whatever, and they expect to stay married to you, if you stay with them and stuff. I'll be out so fast and be like, beep, beep, road runner. You see my smoke. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you can't do that and live that life, and that's your choice. I mean, you do you. But that does not mean that your choice has any impact on my choices. What I want for myself is not going to change because you decided you're going to be bi, trans, whatever, gay, whatever you decide. I mean, that's going to be you and your red wagon. You go do that. But you're going to be doing it without me, and that's my right. But they don't seem to understand that. They feel like, well, I can date this change and you just going to like it. And you're going to stay with me anyway. And nothing's going to change. Fuck you. That would be my response. No, 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 no. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying you can't do that, and it's lovely that you feel that way. Trust me, it's lovely. But you're gonna be lovely over there to fuck somewhere without me. Nah, we're not doing that. So, honey, hante, as they say, um, you better think about that because if you accept this, then this is the reality. And she gonna walk up in the house with a woman and say, well, this is my girlfriend, and yeah, I still want to stay married to you, and y'all got a kid or two, and your mother's there, and what you gonna do? Is that, I mean, think about this in the whole scheme of your life that hasn't come yet with your young 28-year-old self. How does this play into the vision that you had for yourself as a husband and father? If it doesn't, get rid of her now. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying she's a bad person or anything like that, but she's not the person for you because of the dreams that you have for yourself. She doesn't fit your value system anymore. She doesn't fit in with you anymore. Okay? So I know it's a hard choice, but you better listen to me. You're gonna have to do it one way or another. The best way to do it now is before you get married and before you have any kids and involve them in the bullshit. Question number 24, female 28 to 34. She's African American and a Virgo from Hotlanta. Oh boy. Summary of issue. I have a female friend who I think is making a serious mistake, and I'm not sure what to do about it. My friend is a convicted felon, which is in and of itself isn't the issue. The problem is that she has another convicted felon frequenting her home, and while she is, quote, friends with this guy, she doesn't want to ask this guy to stop coming around for fear of losing the, quote, friendship. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what that's about. That snake, that pipe. She has children, and if this association is discovered, it could cost her her freedom and her children. I privately confronted the friend and expressed my concern, but he was not receptive to my concerns. I've considered turning him in to the authorities, but I hesitate to because I can't think of a way to do it without implicating my friend. This person has to go. So how do I get rid of him without risking my friend's freedom? You're not going to do that. You're going to nose out. This is a hill she just has to die on. There's nothing you can do to save stupid people from themselves, girlfriend. Stay out of it. You're not going to call nobody. You're not going to say nothing else. The bold thing about it is you tried. Okay, so she can never say that you never said anything to her about it. You never voiced it. You should have told me. She can't say nothing like that because you did. Okay, so your slate is clean. Your nose is clean. Your hands are clean. You did what you're supposed to do as a concerned friend. Anything else you do would be morphing into the category of nosy ass busybody. Now, if the dude is a convicted felon and you don't know what he was convicted for, you could be putting your very life at risk, nosing about your friend who's choosing to do some stupid shit. So, you know what I mean? That's her choice. She obviously she wants that dick more than she wants her kids or herself to be free. That's the reality that you have not accepted yet. You run around with your little cape on trying to save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. She's making choices here. Her choices are stupid ones, but she's still making them and she's entitled to make them. So just remind her when you go back to jail, I'm not putting no money on your books and I'm not coming to see you. And just remember that you would have destroyed your children's lives twice behind some dick. That's what you need to tell her. That's your parting shot. And then you deuce out and you just leave her alone to her own devices. Sure enough, she'll be back in jail. Yeah, I try to be the voice of reason, but girl, people just, I don't know. They don't want to be reasonable. They want to just do crazy shit. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But this woman, I'm telling you, you've done what you're supposed to do. You were a true friend to her. In case she was getting a little off track, a little confused, you tried to bring her back to reality. You reminded her about her children that she's supposed to be protecting. She's on probation most likely, so she's not supposed to be around other felons, which you pointed out to her. You remind her all that. So you've done your due diligence. You've done everything that you're supposed to do as a solid friend to someone. So at this point, you throw your hands up. Otherwise, you're going into the world of codependence. You're doing stuff for her that she's not even willing to do herself. You're taking more responsibility for her than she's willing to take for herself. That's codependency. So you're going to leave this alone. Okay. You're going to leave this alone. And you're going to start hanging out with your other friends who don't have felons, who are not felons, don't have records, and don't have crazy situations that could get you shot. Leave this alone. Mind your business. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Des Moines, Iowa. Summary of issue. I need advice about what to do about the ex of someone I know who's hitting on me. Oh, that sounds juicy. So here it is. I probably know what you and the squad will advise, LOL, but I want to vent and see different points of view. There's this guy I've been interested in for a couple of years now. He's a good man as far as I know, and I've heard about him, but he's a friend of my siblings. We met when I was moving, and since the first day I felt a spark. But I realized he had a partner, so it definitely wasn't something I would do. Okay, so that was all one giant paragraph with no punctuation. Time passes by. I see him at family gatherings many times. I saw his partner a few times, but mostly he went alone to those events. Finally, a period. I talked to her a few times, so I just know her in passing, definitely not as friends. He even went to my son's birthday and brought gifts. At all these family meetings, I could feel him staring at me, and the attraction was definitely clear for me. We were both into each other, but never said a word for obvious reasons. He respected his partner, and I respected his situation. However, a couple of days ago, he reached out to me and said that he is into me since he first met me, but had to respect his ex-partner and that they broke up because he was unfaithful. Oh, because she was unfaithful to him. And I think it's not the first time girl was caught saying, I love you, I miss you to the other guy. I know it's true because my brother told me it's true. He moved out and everything from the house. He says he won't be going back. It is very hard for me to believe they won't get back together because they have a son and 4 years together. They broke up not too long ago, so I told him that he has to heal first, and then we'll see. We might see what happens. I know I did the right thing. I'm a woman with values, but for sure this has me thinking more about him now. The wait is what will kill me because I'm a little bit anxious when I want something. LOL. So what would you ladies do if this happened to you? How would you handle it? I would be wondering why you think because he had a baby with her and they were together for 4 years that means shit. Do you not look around the black community and see all the single mothers who had something going on with a man for years, sometimes way more than 4, and they walk off and leave her and the kids? Why do you think that the fact that they had a son together is going to mean anything to him? I mean, he might stay in contact with the kid. He might not. Time will tell, won't it though? Would you want a man who abandoned his child? If he doesn't abandon the child, he's going to have to be interacting with the mother. They're going to at least go to court and settle visitation, child support, and all that kind of stuff, right? He's got a lot on his plate right now, so you did good to back away and let him deal with it. It's not healing, though. He's got a lot of loose ends to tie up. He's got to get himself established in a new home. He's got to get shit situated so he can have visitation with his son. He has to get shit situated so he can start paying child support. He had a lot to do besides chase after you. Keep all that in mind and keep your distance until all of this is squared away. Usually is not with courts. I don't know, where are you again? Courts be a little bit backed up. Oh, you're in Des Moines, Iowa. Courts be a little backed up, so he might not even get a court date for 3 or 4 months. But sometimes they've been doing them on Zoom and stuff like that. So I don't know. It just depends on what's going on in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know anything about it. But those are things that you need to think about. It's going to talk about the character of the man, how he treats his son after this. So keep a watchful eye out. Watch how he talks about the baby mama. And just because she cheated on him, that doesn't mean that he doesn't still love her. That just means that his pride was hurt, and so he dipped out. That does not mean he has no feelings. Okay, keep that in mind as well. Question number 26, female, 22 to 27. She's from Ireland. And before we get into that, let me, what was I going to do? Oh, show you that this is how you submit a question. If you want to submit your question for a future show, like next week or the week after, you log on to debsterism.com, get advice. You'll see the URL right there on the screen, and fill out the form and press send. Okay, that's very important if you want to have your question on the air. We will also be doing, I decided once a month, we're going to do on the third Thursday of each month, we will start doing the the $10 dating advice live stream. Third Thursday of each month, you'll have the opportunity to pay $10 and get your question answered right then and right there. On the spot, solutions will be provided to you step by step, very clear, so you just take it and run with it. This is how it works. Okay, we got a little process here. You can also submit your question in advance. There's going to be you can either type it on your computer, but I'm also going to put together a little short form for these questions that has a word limit, because so y'all can't be going on and on. And because the format is a short question, okay? It's not like here where people write a lot. It's not that kind of show. It's a short question and answer thing where you get your answer right away on the spot. If it requires more explanation, then you'll need to call in. But that was what we're going to have. We're going to add that to every month on every third Thursday. Okay, so let's move on. Question number 26 is the next to last one. Female, 22 to 27, from Ireland. I have a what would Deb do question about something my boyfriend just said to me. I can't believe it. But I did say something to him first, so not threatening me. He said, not threatening though. He said, "You're going to make me hit you," end quote. I'm dumbfounded. I know it's heat of the moment thing, but I'm bothered about it just the same. How would you have handled that, Deb? Oh. Oh, you're going to make me hit you. And I would have been like, well, as soon as you decide to make that move, don't be surprised when you draw back a nub or you in prison. Because we're not going to do that. If you got such a problem with your temper that you want to put your hands on somebody, you need to get the fuck out. As a matter of fact, get out. As a matter of fact, we're through here, sir. One thing I'm not going to do is be threatened like that. And like I said, in my house, there's weapons all over the place. I mean, people don't know where they are, only I do. So it would be the kind of thing like, I'm not saying you can't hit me, but it'll be the last time you do. It might be the last time you even use your hand. Because, them little hand axes, like that one good chopping, you handless. And won't be nothing that you could do about it. You should have kept your hand to yourself, and then you would still have your hand. Somebody do something and you cut their hand open. Well, all the nerves and stuff in your hand, and them tendons and stuff, they might be able to stitch it back together, but all the microsurgery in the world is not going to give you full use of your hand again, ever. You're going to be having some curled up shit like this. I bet try to punch somebody with that shit. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't had dudes say stuff like what they want to do, or they thinking about doing stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess the way I look at them, like, do it then. They get scared, and so they have it. But this kind of stuff here, this would not work for me. I don't care what the fuck I say. We have an exchange of words. One thing you're not gonna do is talk about how you're gonna hurt me. The second you do that, our relationship is over. It's over. It's over. I don't care if you come back and say I was just kidding. I don't care. Especially the ones who want to try to play fight you and stuff like that. Oh no, we're really not doing that. They want to choke you or pinch you or pull your arm behind your back and stuff like that, like twist your arm and stuff, and then they want to laugh about it. It's a test to see what you're going to take. I don't take nothing. The one time this dude hit me, and we used to work as a trainer, and I had some big shoulders. I was working on bench pressing 150 pounds and all this kind of stuff, which not that much, but considering my small stature, it was a lot. So, I got chest muscles and back muscles and shoulder muscles. So my punch was landed. And he tried to hit me or something. I draw back because my brother taught me boxing, right? So I took my boxing stance and I went, pow! And I fired on his shoulder as hard as I could. Fuck that nigga up. He had bruises all over his shoulder and it's up. I hit him like right in here somewhere. And he was just all kinds of fucked up. And he was crying about it, like, oh my God, you fucked up my arm. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And the next time you think you're gonna put your hands down, I'm gonna fuck up your face. So you better watch what you do. That and the whole rest of the time, because we used to work together, and the whole time I knew him after that, he never tried that shit again. And that's the kind of thing, you can't run scared from these dudes when they start talking like that. You either end the relationship, or if they actually think they're gonna put their hands on you, you got to do something to hurt them right back. You don't run scared and you don't cry about it. Now that's you asked me what would I do? That's what I would do. That's what I have done. Because but I admit I'm a little bit crazy, but that's okay. Yeah, you're gonna make me hit you. Yeah, you hated me calling you a handless motherfucker after this. That's what they're gonna be calling you in Ireland. Wow, girl, you better leave this fool alone. Because the next thing you know, you might end up in prison. I never minded that thought though, because I feel like if I get you back, that's okay. Because in my world itself, with self-defense, you shouldn't put your hands on me. So I mean, if I have to go in for 90 days or something, well, that's okay. As long as you in a casket or you sitting up in somebody's rehab hospital, I'm okay with that. And our final question of the night, question number 27. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's African, well, she's black, from Liverpool, England, in the UK. I have a lovely boyfriend. He really is amazing. Only I have trust issues, which I'm working on, and he's always willing to help or reassure me if and when I need it. However, he has a lot of female friends, some of which he spends time with. One is even an ex, but he doesn't spend time with her, he only texts her. Now I try my hardest to accept that he has female friends and there's nothing wrong with that. But I am really struggling to believe that's all there is and to feel okay with it. I want to believe it so badly. I have no reason not to trust him, but my mind goes into overdrive convincing myself that he's going to leave me for one of them. It might be a control thing on my end. I really don't know. I just know that I am uncomfortable with it, and he just tells me that it will get easier for me to handle the more I learn that I can fully trust him. I've considered ending it a few times now because I find it too difficult. But he really is amazing, and I am falling in love with him, which worries me that I maybe am blinded. What would you do in my situation, Deb? I would break up with him, without a doubt. You know why? What is it about this guy that you feel like you have to go through all these mental gymnastics and this anguish while he has all these female friends that he's running around with? I feel like if I'm in a relationship, and it's not like I'm jealous, but especially when you just start off, your energy need to be focused on me. I'm supposed to be your friend and your focus in the one you text and talking to and clicking with, not a bunch of bitches. So if you got time for all them bitches in your world, then that means that's time that you not spending on me. In which case, me being the Leo demands everything, and so you got to go because I'm either the star of the show or there is no show. That's my motto. It's been my motto my whole life. We're not doing that. You're not gonna be having a whole bunch of women friends. If it's something that is like a woman or two that's been his friend since they was in diapers or something like that, I can deal with that. But you talking about a bunch of exes and some miscellaneous straight bitches from your ex employers and all these other miscellaneous people that you've done collected over the years, and you want to bring them into a relationship with me, and I'm supposed to be okay with that. I'm not okay with that, and it's not gonna happen. Okay, I can do it, but it has boundaries around it. And all that, especially with exes, you don't have no kids together. There's no reason for you to be friends with your ex. If they're parenting together, co-parenting, then I like it when they can at least be civil to each other for the child's sake. But all this, you got this whole collection of exes and shit like that. Oh no, 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 no. So you have to, what I'm getting here is that you're not happy with this situation, but you're trying to make yourself be happy with it. You don't want to accept it because you don't like it, but you're trying to force yourself to be happy with it, accept it because you like him. Like somebody else who doesn't have a whole parade of bitches coming in the door with him. Okay? And that's all you have to do is tell him, you just got too many women for me. I can't deal with it. And I don't want to. So you take your parade, your little circus of bitches, and go on over there somewhere, and y'all be happy together. Because I'm gonna find a man who wants to focus 100% of his time and energy on me. And that's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why you feel like you have to accept this. And him talking about the more you'll learn to accept it, the more you can trust him. And you be able to, no, I don't want to learn to trust it, and I don't want to learn to handle it. I want you to go somewhere, over there somewhere. And that's what you tell him. Okay? There's no reason why for you to force yourself to be, then you're gonna be added to his collected little collection of exes and stuff when y'all break up. He's gonna be trying to be friends with you. Say no, I'm not trying to be friends with you. I don't want miscellaneous trained men in my life. When I go meet my next dude, I'm coming with a clean slate, and it's just gonna be me. It's not gonna be you and Harry and Dave and all these other people from my past. It's not gonna be them. It's just gonna be me. And that's the same kind of thing I want in my relationship with a man. And that's it. You just make it very clear. I don't understand why it's a problem. Right? I'm just saying. Plus, I hate to say, you dealing with brothers. They're going to be having these, this my cousin. These some bitch they used to fuck. You're trying to pass her off as a relative. I know that trick. I've pulled that stunt myself. But it's like, players recognize game in other players. So, girlfriend, I'm just telling you, just leave this fool alone. He's not what you want. Okay. And I don't care how nice he is. He can see that you're naive and you believe anything that you're told. So of course he's gonna come in checking all the boxes and crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's while he hides all these other women until he decides to spring out that, jump off that, pull off that sheepskin and all that wolf jump out. And you're gonna be like, oh no, what happened? He used to be so nice to me. Please. So anyway, that's it for today's crazy show. If you missed it, please go back and listen again. Hit the like before you leave up out of here, and feel free to share a link. That would be good. Share a link. It doesn't have to be to this one. Be any one of the other 1,500 videos on this lovely channel. And if you want to find something in particular, go to the channel top page, and it says, search this channel. Type in some keywords. I don't know, like setting boundaries. That would be a good one for every woman on this show tonight to listen to. Vetting men. That's another one. That would be a good one. Never help a man. That's another one I can highly recommend for the crew that came through these letters tonight. Those are all three really good places for you to start. So, yeah, that's it. That's what we got. I'm trying to think if I want to come up with something to do on Sunday. We haven't done a Sunday sermon in a minute, but I'll let you guys know. Keep a lookout. Be sure to hit the subscription button and the instant notification bell so you don't miss out in case something does get scheduled. I'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.